Revolution born in the DeFi space. EMP Fusion, leading the race. From EMP to energy, the cycles turn. Passive income streams, it's what we earn. Sacrifice and stake, let your journey begin. In the heart of fusion, everyone wins. Daily rewards, no limit in sight. Building wealth in the digital night. Fusion ignites, the future's in view. Decentralized growth for me and you. Infinite loops, rewards on demand. Together we thrive, in fusion we stand. EMP empowers, energy thrives. In this ecosystem, our wealth arrives. No more middlemen, no centralized ties. Just smart contracts and community ties. The marketplace beckons, a gamified land. With strategy sharp, we take our stand. One single stake, rewards abound. In Fusion's loop, prosperity is found. Fusion ignites, the future's in view. Decentralized growth for me and you. Infinite loops, rewards on demand. Together we thrive, in Fusion we stand. Liquidity pools, where dreams are made. With every transaction, the system's paid. Sustainable growth, a vision so clear. Fusion's ecosystem, year after year. Compounding wealth, it's the Fusion way. Earning rewards every single day. From EMP to energy, the cycle flows. A digital empire, watch how it grows. Fusion ignites, the future's in view. A decentralized world for me and you. Infinite loops, rewards on demand. Together we thrive, in Fusion we stand. The journey's simple, the rewards are vast. In Fusion's loop, wealth grows fast. Sacrifice your EMP, let energy lead. In this ecosystem, you plant the seed. Sustainability, drives the Fusion plan. A financial revolution for every man. With innovation at its very core. Fusion unlocks the future to explore. So join the movement, take your place in the Fusion ecosystem. We embrace a decentralized vision, bold and true. With EMP Fusion, the future's for you. Fusion ignites, the future's in view. A decentralized world for me and you. Infinite loops, rewards on demand. Together we thrive, in Fusion we stand.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to our EMP live stream. We have a very special one today on the entire EMP DexFi mothership. Honestly, this is probably one of the most bullish AMAs we will ever do in terms of new releases, what the future holds for this year. We already started with a bang, and I'm joined by two of the fellow team members and co-hosts with the most, LA and Jake from DexFi. How are you guys?
Hey, feeling good. Hey, guys.
Yeah, man. I gotta put my glow sticks down. There's some
yeah, man. We're totally,
Where's
Jake.
mine?
We're raving for the intro, man. Yeah, we got to get the energy up, and we got 70 live viewers already, so record numbers coming in as we speak. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps. And remember that we come to you every Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. So we're gonna jump right in because we got a really big one today. A ton of alpha, kind of a pseudo roadmap of what to expect over the next few weeks. But we can start on DexSwap. So as all of you know, again, just to give a little quick background, Jake, Dex CEO, and I and LA and everybody at EMP, we merged about a year ago when we launched SparkSwap, and we had some of the best success together under SparkSwap, and with everything we wanted to do with L1 Dex and what we did do with Spark and Manta, this is the culmination of all that, right, Jake? I mean, we're having a killer V4 multi-chain Dex under one brand, under one umbrella that we can just jam all the volume towards. And today was the soft launch on BSC.
Yeah, man, it's exciting. I know it's been on everyone's minds. We've been working on it for a little while, and obviously we have it's not the only thing we have in the only iron in the fire, but this is an exciting day. Yeah, we got officially got the soft launch out. Obviously we have a couple things to cover, but yeah, very cool that the framework's up. Now it's just kind of plug and playing. We have some migrations to cover, some new token launches, and it's all coming together really nicely.
Yeah, 100%, man. So I don't know. I kind of put you on the spot here. Are you able to share your screen? If not, I might be able to. But I think we should just probably bring up DexSwap and go over it really quick. Again,
Yeah.
setting expectation that this is, a soft launch rather than trying to do a big hyped launch, where we have a token released and everything that goes along with that. We just want to get, a slow and steady growth and volume. So we said, let's just do it. We have a lot of announcements. It always happens that way. LA and I joked that in other AMAs that it seems like all the stuff that we do happens at once, whether we plan it that way or not. That was the running joke with SparkSwap too. But yeah. So all right, are you able to share, or do I need to give you permission, Jake?
I think I got it here. Let me try here. Sharing. There we go. Put that.
All right, awesome. Let me add to stage. All right, there it is. Perfect. So, yeah, again, a lot of you may be familiar with it. We're not reinventing the wheel in terms of UI. Again, this is a soft launch. We had somebody ask, what does soft launch mean? Essentially it means the minimal viable product. Obviously, we have, our futures, perpetuals coming. We have the bridge coming. Right now, it's just about establishing the initial liquidity. And over the next few weeks and months, we'll be onboarding other protocols, our own protocol. Again, we'll talk about the migration here in a minute, but EMP and eShare will both be having the main liquidity on DexSwap. That alone could be, upwards of $1 million in TVL. So yeah, again, great job. I don't know if you just want to run through it really quick, Jake, and then we can just show them quickly how to add, liquidity if they would like. So
Yeah, so I think I guess let me maybe start by kind of clarifying this the soft launch question.
for sure.
One of the like the typical DEXs that you guys have seen, the typical DEX launch is like there's this big hype train, and there's a DEX token, and everyone's got tries to get on the early liquidity rewards. What's nice about us, about this particular, especially launching on BSC, is that again, we don't necessarily need the hype. We have 3 or 4 other DEXs, and really, we're just trying to make this the pinnacle, right? The focal point, and then migrate all those in, right? So, what you see here is basically just kind of clean, good UI with like a really strong core underneath it. Like I said, we've developed all this like in Uni v4 style. So it's like we're literally on like the very bleeding edge of the technology. It's all concentrated liquidity, which I'm sure some of you guys are familiar with. One of the things we focus on with the vaults. But again, like I said, the real funnel start once we get to the migration towards the end of the month. As you can see here, we have BSC. We're on BSC right now. Like I said, there's not a ton of liquidity, not a lot of trading until we start getting the migration stuff going. Right off the bat, that'll give us a lot of the initial liquidity, volume, and things like that, and then we can start adding new features in, new tokens and things like that. Obviously, another really great advantage, to having this DEX, especially this style of DEX, and the power underneath the hood, is that we can actually work in our liquidity manager, our AILM, and the vault system directly into this system, right? So we can show you a little bit of preview of the LP creation and stuff. But again, this is another reason why we wanted to do somewhat of a soft launch, just so that like it's live, you guys can get the feel for it. But then over the next couple weeks, and leading up to the migration, we're going to actually start bringing in more of these like the vault things, the liquidity management stuff, right? So you'll be able to do all this like inside of the DEX, whereas like typically like right now you'd have to go to like you could do it on you could create a position on the vaults, and you'll also be able to do that on the vaults, on DEX vaults as well. But this just gives you a lot of flexibility. You can go back and forth. If you're on the swaps, swap, you don't have to go back to the vaults and vice versa. It'll all be kind of directly integrated into this. But like I said, you can see, we're starting on BSC. And again, just to maybe mention this point, because it's come up a few times. Like I said, we have several other chains, other DEXs that we're bringing in. This one was important though, because obviously it's a big milestone for the EMP community, but it's also the only one that's not on our own DEX right now, right? So we're actually missing out on all the volume and additional revenue, just giving it away to PancakeSwap, right? So like it was an easy choice to make BSC the first MVP. It's just a migration from PancakeSwap. We don't have to like go cross chain or worry about the DEX token just yet. But like I said, this migration will really kick us off at the end of the month. And as you can see, we have a couple new chains. These will all be added, very shortly afterward. We'll start implementing this one by one, for SparkSwap and for where the DexFi tokens are traded right now on the V2, and also some stuff from Manta and maybe some new things. But you'll see anything that's highlighted that you can hover over. Those are active features. The other stuff, obviously, like the futures we're bringing back, the bridging, stuff like that. Clearly, we're still working our numbers. We just launched today without much volume in trading, but again, we want to promote transparency, in our numbers and our fee structures and security and all that, right? Down to our socials. So, really clean, easy. We took, like I said, some of the best parts of not only just the core contracts, from obviously like Uni V3, V4, and then we added some of our own special sauce, the anti-bot protection. So combined with the new tech and our special sauce, in combination with like all the AI, AILM, and some of the new AI stuff we're doing, it's really going to be something special, which is why we kind of label it as a boutique liquidity management service, right? We might not have all the pairs, but we're going to have the finest pairs and be able to help you manage your liquidity exactly how you want.
Yeah, 100%, man. And just to add to that too, we also have some really unique features that will help us compete with, the pancake swaps and the aerodromes in terms of bot protection. So one of the really cool things on top of, fully integrated with the vaults, so you'll be able to add liquidity through DexSwap and then have that liquidity managed through our AILM. All that will be seamless as it goes. But on top of that, if you're a project owner, or maybe you want to launch your own meme token, or maybe you just are tired of getting, front run by predatory bots, we have all of that built in to protect on DexSwap. So this is something that has made SparkSwap super successful, by running our own, anti-bot mechanisms. So we feel like that will be the angle that we can get market share through what we're doing for sure. Cool.
Yeah, like I said, I can walk you through a couple of features. I mean, like I said, we the bridge and futures are coming soon. For now, the vaults will just take you, over to DexFi. but you can start trading this. I mean, like I said, there's very little liquidity at the moment. We're still just adding new pairs and playing around. Even the UI, like I can show you some of the liquidity UI. We're still adding like some of those features that actually directly integrate the AILM and the vault features directly into liquidity management. But like this is live, it's super snappy. You know what I mean? Like I said, all the best, the best tech went into this. Like I said, anti-bot, very low slippage. It's really quick and snappy. And you'll have a really good experience.
100%. And yeah, just again, as we grow, realize that, there may be some slippage on these pairs, obviously, until there is liquidity. Just be careful. But yeah, once over the next few weeks, we'll have a lot more incentives and bring over new pairs. And yeah, I mean, again, you're if you are providing liquidity on, meme tokens or other Binance projects, you could provide liquidity over here on DexSwap and get a massive portion of the fees because we don't have that much liquidity. So keep that in mind. Again, that is one advantage of getting in early is, you're providing liquidity to a lot smaller of a pool and you own a lot more of the fee split that way, for sure. So speaking of that, you want to show them just real quick, Jake, how you can potentially add liquidity?
Yeah, you can. Like I said, some of this stuff is still being worked on. Obviously, the any of the EMP pairs won't be available just yet. I think over the next couple of days, we did talk about maybe starting with the eShare BNB and making that the first kind of step of the migration. So you can at least start trading here and getting a feel for it.
For sure. And yeah, to interrupt you too, real quick. So just so everybody knows, yeah, eShare BNB that will be easily unpaired and then added to DexSwap. But we will have a full migration on the 31st. Again, that's the date, but you never know. Things might happen. It might be a day after, or a day before of EMP. So remember, this is the official announcement. We said it in multiple AMAs before, but we will be migrating the EMP token to a new EMP token. We'll have a one-to-one swap, and the liquidity that you provide for EMP LP will be able to actually automatically migrate that into DexSwap and automatically convert that to a AILM position where you can potentially earn again by holding EMP ETH LP or eShare BNB LP without token emissions, which is just so bullish. I mean, this is the whole point of V3 liquidity. And obviously, a lot of you, may have been in the farms and haven't been earning at all for holding your EMP ETH LP. Obviously, we want you to be converting that to, fusion positions because you're going to make way more that way. But again, if you have LP, you can convert it this way. And then once that conversion happens, then you can break the LP, and again, like I said, utilize that ETH or the EMP for fusion, or sacrifice all the LP. Remember, when you sacrifice LP into fusion, you get the bonus and the value of the ETH as well. So again, there's options for everybody on how we do this. But all right, sorry, Jake. I know we're gonna get a lot of questions about EMP specific things.
Yeah.
So but yeah, all right. So that's the game plan. And again, don't fall for any scam tokens. We're not doing any Dex swap token yet. All that will be a future announcement. So just again, unless you see it in an AMA or in the official posts, don't get scammed for sure.
Yeah, so liquidity, like I said, this is kind of all the pairs that are kind of created right now. You can click on any of these. You can also create your own pairs, right? Like I think AJ made a cat pair earlier today.
Yeah, man. Seven's
pretty,
cat. Yeah, right. Let's go.
pretty simple stuff. Actually, like I said, this pool like already exists, right? But you go ahead and create your pairs. Again, like I said, like there's not really a a ton of incentive to create a pair just the second. And again, some of that UI will be changing. But let me see. I think I have some of these right. So I just go ahead and create my position right. You can choose different ranges. Again, this UI will be kind of updating again to kind of use more of the DexSwap UI. I'm sorry, the Dex Vaults UI, and integrating the vaults directly into there, so you can just create a vault right away without without having to create the LP first. But you get the idea. You can widen or narrow your ranges and that kind of thing. If you're not familiar with it, I do have I got a little bit in here, but yeah, pretty standard stuff. Let's just add a little bit. Oops. Let's just do that. Then create your position. And honestly, it's easy as that. I mean, now I have this position right. I'm going to be automatically earning fees. Again, this fee APR is directly dependent on the volume that's coming in, right? So obviously there's not a ton of liquidity right now. There's not a ton of volume. So this fee APR is very, very low. But it is, like I said, all this is active. It's working. You can come here and you can collect your fees and see what your liquidity is at. You can add, remove. Again, also worth noting, like I said, this is a manual range, right? So you're going to be, you're going to have to watch, to make sure it doesn't go out of range, which will mean that you're no longer earning if it goes out of range. But again, that's basically the main function of the vaults and of the AILM. So again, all this stuff will be in there. It should be really simple to use, just in and out of positions, as you'd like. And again, you can kind of come back here, switch between, your positions, all the positions. Pretty easy to use.
Awesome. I love it. I mean, again, this is meant to be the soft launch, high level overview. We'll do standalone videos and tutorials on all this stuff, but now it's just literally day one, minute one, and we're only going to be continuing to come up from here. So, and again, why this all matters is this is just another revenue stream for GDEX holders and EMP Fusion stakers. I mean, again, all of this is part of the mothership. And, I mean, if you take into account PancakeSwap or Uniswap or any of the big guys, I mean, they're literally doing millions of dollars a day in fees. I mean, we could get to tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars in real revenue, especially utilizing the vaults. Again, the vaults create the volume, they make it easy, they manage your liquidity positions. This is just one last puzzle piece that we were missing in the tech stack, of having literally every product market fit in crypto. So now we have it. It's all under one roof. Everything will be DexSwap. We support Pulse. All the big chains. So it's exciting, really exciting times. And again, we didn't do a big pre-sale for a token and all this. I mean, we'll have all the DexSwap token itself. That info will be coming down the road. This is just simply about providing the infrastructure to grow. So I'm super bullish. And this is just one thing of about 4 things that we're going to tease today for sure. So, well, a half an hour in, Jake, that's pretty bullish, man. Again, it's going to be a long one tonight, but anything you want to add before we talk about a few other things?
No, I think that's a pretty good rundown. I mean, like I said, pretty much everything we've done on, Cedo swap and Spark swap and the V2 Dex swap. Like I said, all that'll be coming in. There'll be tons more news to roll in. But I think you can probably already just tell the quality of this exchange. We put a lot more time and energy into. Like I said, it's like really bleeding edge. Everything's like lightning fast. I mean, I know there's been if you've been on Spark Swap and like Cedo, like if you notice, like there's we had different subdomains for like futures, and so like basically this is all like we had to refactor everything. We built it like just literally from the ground up. So like this is our new final home, and we're just going to continue to build on it. should all be really fast and crispy and work really well to give a good user experience.
Amazing. Awesome, brother. All right, LA, I'm going to have you help me go through some of the comments. If there are questions, please keep them for the end because we got a lot to get through. But real quick, there's a few I see. Just what is
Yep.
the minimum? There is the minimum. Will GG be on the Dex? Yeah, it's a great one. So, yes, after eShare and EMP migration, GG will be the next token from our ecosystem. And that will also be, again, multi-chain. And then Grover had a good one too. Here you go. So Jake, that one's for you, man. I know we're not big on timelines here, but yeah, take a stab at it, maybe.
What was the question?
Oh, sorry, I didn't read it to you. I thought you could see. Grover says is when you add liquidity to DexSwap, having the LP able to be used in the vaults, is that live yet? And if not, how long? So essentially, when we'll be hooking up the vaults to DexSwap and the AILM.
So that should be ready for like by the 31st. There'll definitely be EMP vaults for sure. The being able to at least create or use the AILM for all pairs, and obviously vaults for EMP stuff for sure by migration. And then moving forward, we may work there's so typically we have like some minimum standards for like adding farms to vaults, minimum liquidity requirements, things like that, So there might be a few caveats that we need to work in to make sure that the process is safe for everyone to use. Make sure that no one's able to, unnecessarily lose money by, jumping into a pool that has no liquidity, things like that. But there, like I said, the other it's all under one hood, and like I said, it's all apps built from the ground up. We're not like, it's not like we're building on top of other kind of shit code, or older models, you know what I mean, and trying to put newer stuff in. We're not putting our Ferrari engine in a beater
Yep,
car.
totally.
So like we've been trying to do. So everything, like I said, everything should just be a lot smoother. The code's all fresh, and it should all work together. With some minor adjustments here and there. But yeah,
Amazing.
migration. You'll be able to jump into EMP vaults and create any EMP pairs 100%.
Okay, awesome. All right, so that wraps up DexSwap. Again, we'll have a lot more info on this as we go. We got a lot to go, and we have 170 viewers tonight. So shout out to all of you. Smash the like button, and make sure you share this out. Give us a subscribe. We're on YouTube and X tonight. So big stuff coming. And the next big thing, which again, maybe you can pull it up. Jake, is the announcement on Twitter with Imperial. So again, I want to address this as well. EMP and EMP are not the same EMP. So get ready to have the inception happen. It just so happens that one of the incredible partners that we're looking or it's official now that we'll be working with is Imperial, and it reads as EMP real and I know there's been some confusion about this, rightly so. Again, I understand. I wish that we, were one letter different. But what we're going to be saying moving forward is, EMP is EMP and EMP Fusion, and Imperial is this new protocol. It's not a new protocol. It's been around for a while with some amazing things. So, Jake, do you just want to go a little bit into this again? I know there are some things that we can't really talk about yet. But there are some breadcrumbs for those that are, paying attention. So anyway, man, go ahead.
Yeah, so we're thrilled to be working with the Imperial guys. Yeah, DexFi loves its EMPs.
Yeah, bro, we're
but
EMPs
I,
everywhere, all the way around. Yeah.
well, fucking good people, you know what I mean? Yeah, the Imperial guys have done a really great job in the AI space. They launched their Simi platform, which is essentially a an AI agent that allows interaction with blockchain through social interactions, right? So like you can basically tweet at their semi agent to launch tokens. So like I said, like AJ mentioned, we got a couple kind of big things we're working on that we can't really kind of go into all the details about. But in essence, uh, they when they launch tokens, right? So they've, like I said, they've launched Simi, they launched Chaos, was launched by AIXPT, massive name in the AI space. Um, they also just launched Kudai with GMX Blueberries. So they got a lot of big names. They hold a lot of mind share, and the way that it works is like they work. Their forte is in the launching of tokens and kind of these tranches that go through these V3 liquidity pools. So like I said, you can see on the announcement here. We're working directly with them. Both dev teams are actually putting in work to kind of do some cool things with the liquidity management. Graduating through their tranches into some of our vault systems and our AILM. Treasury management, those kind of things. So super bullish. Not only just like I said for exposure and marketing, but TVL and all that. So bullish for the ecosystem as a whole, and a really great team to work with.
Oh, I'm muted. Sorry about that. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, man. And I know what you guys have been working on in the background is absolutely epic. And again, we essentially are creating what we affectionately refer to as DexFi AI. We and Jake, it's so funny we talk about this. Like Jake and the team, you guys were doing AI and all this shit before it was even a narrative. And it appears as though, we're trying to capture some of the hype, which we are, but there's been, months and months of work behind the scenes on, really trailblazing all this. And again, I don't want to get in trouble, but this partnership alone and the DexFi AI narrative, that is going to lead to probably 3 additional platforms that we can, utilize to pump revenue back to GDEX and EMP and Fusion and everything else. So again, man, I don't want to steal your thunder here, but I think that it deserves to be highlighted for sure.
Yeah, it's funny. I put this post out early in the month. We launched our AILM in August of 2024. Like before there was even a buzzword for DeFi AI. um, in comparison, AIXBT, which is like one of the first agents that kind of started it all, they just joined Twitter in November. So we've been doing it for a long time. But again, this is a really great another great reason for our partnership with the Imperial guys. Like I said, they've done a really great job of establishing themselves as a in the mind share is a kind of the term they use to kind of represent the share. I mean, as it sounds, the share that people hold, and the share that the exposure that let's say that you have as a project, which we needed. So we're builders, and we always been building. Like I said, we have this deal partnership with Simi. We're working on liquidity management, maybe some other interesting things. But yeah, we've also been working on a couple different angles as well. I kind of like to think of it as a 3-part, like a three-armed system where like I said, the kind of uh, investment, liquidity, treasury management type of stuff with the Imperial guys, and then with some of our internal team, we've actually been working. Maybe as soon as next week, we're going to get you're going to get like a DeFi AI direct agent on the app to help you, in plain natural language, be able to like talk to an agent that to find different vaults, help you create vaults, assess different strategies, those kinds of things. That's the DeFi AI category is super hot right now. That's kind of the next evolution. Really trying to simplify the DeFi experience. It's honestly, I think it's really important because think about how much time it takes to learn a new platform, even if it's simple, right? And especially with the vaults and things that we're doing, it can be really overly complex for new users. So this is like just a real simple way, like a ChatGPT type of system, where rather than having to like read all the docs and figure out everything you want to do and how do you get in or whatever, you can literally just talk to this agent and say, okay, I have this, give me a medium, something with medium APR, that has a moderate risk tolerance. I got some blue chips at least, but this and this. And pull up. Here's the vaults you want to get in. You want to create your own. Do all that for you with just by talking to it.
That's so
Um,
bullish. Yeah, I love it. Yeah.
well, and also too, that's we're kind of prototyping, right? For obviously on our own products, but this is the type of thing that we want to for sure expand on into other protocols, right? So the hard part is building the core, right? But I mean, if Fusion is a good example, right? We all know about it, right? But if someone coming in would be like, man, this is looking pretty good. I got batteries and microgrids. You know what I mean? So it's something we could, we have the foundation. We just outfit it for, like a Fusion app or any DeFi app. And again, rather than having to read all the docs and do all this stuff and watch videos, you just come and ask a question. I mean, what am I doing here? Give me the TDLR, and then take $100 and deposit it for me. You know what I mean? Literally that easy.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, again, just to simplify that even more, imagine a private LA or Stinky Beans telling you, how to get involved in the protocol as an AI agent. I mean, that is what we're doing. And the other crazy part is there has been so many AI projects on Base and a lot of the mainstream platforms or chains that have just been blowing up, and they don't have a product. Again, a lot of this is on hype. I mean, Imperial is an exception. That's why, we're so excited to work with them because,
Sure.
they have the products and, you can launch tokens just by tweeting at them. I mean, it's pretty insane. But the fact that we have a fully built out ecosystem and real products, once the word gets out, that is massive for sure.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I don't regret anything, of course. And I'm happy. I'm really happy where we're at. But in hindsight, you and I have joked around we've almost done DeFi backwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally.
Most people just put out a white paper and then launch a token and then just figure it out and build on build as they're doing it. But that's why there's a lot of pump and dumps, and most of them are not going to succeed, right? In fact, the only ones that are doing well now are the ones that are building infrastructure, and even those are like 3 years behind us. You know what I mean? In a lot of the things we're doing. So we definitely have a huge leg up. Like I said, now it's just time to get to boost our mind share and get people looking at us. I'll tell you what. I didn't go into the third arm, but let's give it a world premiere. We haven't even really announced this yet. But
I love it. I love it. Let the alpha fly, Jake. There you go, bro.
if you guys want to check out the newly DexFi AI website, this is going to be our official DexFi AI agent platform. Again, all of this kind of works together, right? Gia is our branded agent, right? We like to call her the Omni agent, right? She's more than just someone to chat with. You can actually check her out on, I don't know if you can see that, but you can check her out on Twitter at Gia, a little flex. But yeah, Gia is kind of our spokesperson. She's going to be the one, you'll talk to Gia in the DexFi app to talk, about the vaults. She's you know, she'll be the one helping with, you know, investment treasury management and investment DAOs, you know, with our Imperial partnership. And then, you know, like I said, the third arm here, we've also been working for the last several months now. We're actually super close uh, the private beta, which you can sign up for here if you got any ideas, or you know, you're interested in building with us. Um, we'll be releasing what's going to be a really powerful, essentially what they call it a swarm builder, right? So it's rather than just like, to put it in kind of plain terms, like I'm sure everyone's familiar with like the virtuals agents, right? These are like really dumb agents that, like, it's essentially like a skin over a chat GPT. It's like it's one agent that does this one thing and talks to you, and you can kind of train it to do, you know, one thing here and there, right? With our swarm builder, you're gonna be able to create a swarm, which is essentially, you know, limitless, dozens of agents that all work in sync with each other, right? That's how we're doing all this kind of cool stuff. That's why, like the Gia agent on the DexFi app, you know, can not only just like create your vault or answer questions about a vault, right, but also help with support, you know, support issues, and explain educational stuff, and um, you know, actually find vaults, you know, find vaults for you and invest for you, right? So, some really powerful tech. It's got like really cool graph memory that like actually stores information, can recall that from, you know, prior instances. It can search the web or give it, you know, give it resources. Super powerful tools that we're really excited about. And in combination with that, we're going to be releasing a marketplace. So like, you know, if you kind of like to think of like this new AI narrative as like early stages of like web development. You know, I came from like a web media marketing, software development background, and you know, like really quickly, you know, like companies like WordPress and like Wix. I mean, Shopify. These guys took over the web development scene because it was super easy, right? You just plop up a website and then you just go to their marketplace. Say, okay, I want this plugin. I want this plugin. I want it to do this. I don't have to build the whole thing, right? So essentially, this is going to be what it is. Anybody will be able to come in. Obviously, the private beta you can register for, and we'll kind of help people along. But once we're up and running, yeah, the idea is to essentially just open up um, a free marketplace where anybody can come in and use the tech the infrastructure that we've built, build their agents, right? And then once you have something good, you can actually list your agent in the marketplace for sale, or to utilize, and then get residual, you know, make residual money off. So other people can take the things that you've built, plug it into their agents, right? Kind of creating this community of agents. So yeah, I'm a lot of really bullish right now.
I love it, man. Oh my God, I'm thinking of that meme. Too bullish, bro. I can't contain myself. Yeah, and again, I mean, you said it absolutely perfectly. For those that might not be following as closely, the Wix of AI agents. I mean, again, this is software as a service. Utilizing the benefits of decentralized blockchain, but doing it in a way that has mainstream, adoption. And yeah, I mean, again, a lot of the stuff we do in the beginning will be DeFi focused, like Jake said, creating different vaults, maybe managing different, investment strategies, all decentralized without any, and self-custodied, which is massive. But this could grow into, who knows what, with people being able to build their own agents and again, essentially sell them on the marketplace, to other users. The list is endless for sure. So yeah, man. Again, this is really, and I think people think that the AI narrative is just like NFTs or like the shrimp farms. Like it's just a hot narrative at the moment, but. I honestly think, I mean, the way the world is going, this is here to stay, and it will be another sector, just like DeFi is, within crypto for sure.
Well, not only that, in fact, some of the guys on the team that are building it, that's actually been one of our major kind of missions in building this is that obviously we have an edge, and we have a market in crypto, right? And like it's hot in crypto. It's a big. There's a lot of applications, right? DeFi AI and liquidity management, all this other stuff, right? But we want to build for real world applications as well, right? So all the tech that we're building, like in fact, honestly, we have probably we have a handful of people signed up for to get started on the private beta as soon as we open it up, and like 2 or 3 of them, out of 7 are want to build real world stuff, not even in crypto. They got ideas in the real world that they just want to use the tech for. So you'll be able to whether you're in crypto or, I mean, obviously we're all in crypto, but whether if you have an idea for real world that you think you could benefit, I mean, AI is not like I said, it's not going away. And there's going to be applications.
I love it, man. No doubt. And it really rounds out, again, I mentioned it a little earlier, this branch now, DexFi AI, it rounds out our conglomerate. Again, we call it the mothership or the franchise, whatever word you want to say. But what it means is we have exposure to literally every single facet of crypto through our umbrella. I mean, dexes, perpetuals, bridge, games, AI, NFT marketplaces. I mean, the list goes on and on. Decentralized exchanges. I mean, again, revenue sharing, ROI. Staking platforms. Like again, we are a one-stop shop now, and all of these arms or branches connect back to the mothership, and that is why it's so bullish for our ecosystem. And the more that we do this, the more that we expand, the more eyeballs that come. It's this flywheel effect that is really starting to kick in. And obviously, we wish we could build quicker and get all this out sooner, but we also need to make sure that we do it right. So that's where we're at. And we said 2025 is going to be a big year for all of us. So here it is. This is the just the last remaining puzzle pieces as we get going here. But amazing, man. I think, man, I gotta take a breath. That was like a lot of alpha for one AMA. Holy hell! So yeah, but and we have a lot to go over too still for Fusion and other things. Again, if you guys have questions, please feel free to type it in the chat. But yeah, I think again, if you hang around, Jake, we can answer some stuff at the end. We want to talk a little bit about Fusion, but before we move into that, are you any other anything else you have, or LA? Any
While he's still here, we
yeah,
actually have a whole bunch of questions about DexSwap that we haven't gotten to yet from you
right.
both.
Yeah, so
Sure.
why don't we we'll circle back through to DexSwap. We'll go through some Fusion updates, and then we'll close that out with some more Q&A at the very end. So again, if you have a question, please feel free to ask. So all right, go ahead, LA.
Awesome. So why are we moving over to DexSwap instead of using PancakeSwap? What's the main benefits?
Go ahead, Jake. You want to answer that, or you want me to?
Yeah, I mean, I can get us started anyway. I think the number one reason is that right now we're just giving the money to PancakeSwap. At one point when we moved off of BSC, like from our old money market platform, like I looked back and I did the numbers, and like we would have made like over $500,000 like just in our own swap fees for our own tokens, right? So like that was the first, that's the first reason. It's just we're leaving money on the table. But also, I mean, I don't know about you guys, man, but like I do everything I can not to use PancakeSwap. It is really just like really trashy. People still complain about getting sandwich bot in, and I'm scared to use it even. So I think we're going to be able to provide a much better user experience, and it's been more beneficial to the community because we're giving those returns back. Those returns get put back into Fusion. So That's where I would start anyway.
Yeah, no doubt. I think that answers it. I mean, again, it's a way that we capitalize on everything and don't give fees to a third party that doesn't support our ecosystem at all. Again, anytime you do a trade, obviously the majority of the fees go to LP providers, but we still get a cut of that. And why not pay, DexSwap instead of Pancake or Uni or any of the other ones? Because that goes right into supporting GDEX and EMP or EMP Fusion rewards. So yeah, and the user experience is great too. I mean, literally, I don't know how many people actually are buying eShare on the call today, but we get reports every single day of a sandwich bot on PancakeSwap that has been, just absolutely annihilating eShare on almost every trade. So that all goes away. You get a better price. It's a better experience. And last but not least, maybe touch on the bridge really quick, Jake, because the bridging volume, we have to have liquidity on each chain that we're bridging to and from. And as of now, it's been through PancakeSwap's DAI. Now it will be through DexSwap. So that's again another avenue of ease of use and revenue, correct?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, all that for sure. More volume, more arbitration, more revenue, more bridge fees, things like that. But also just what's the word? More accessibility, right? Like
For sure.
we can get if we can, the main goal is to consolidate. Some of the like pDai will be maybe brought down into just USDEX, so deeper liquidity available on more chains, so people can get in and out, without getting price impact, things like that. So, like we said, we've always wanted to have like an end-to-end system where, the user doesn't have to go far to get what they need.
I love it, totally. And again, last but not least with that, I think another really sleeping giant is the fact that we're able to integrate the vaults on top of DexSwap. I mean, it is again a self-fulfilling circle of volume because vaults create volume. The more volume, the better the returns, and it's a vicious loop. So we've never really been able to have our own vaults on our own dexes unless we run SparkSwap, which we saw the amazing results that had. I mean, even today, because of the vaults and the the different arbitrage bots to keep things in parity, we're doing like $40,000 to $50,000 a day in volume on SDAI on SparkSwap. Imagine, again, like Jake's saying, we convert that into USDEX or any other main pairs. That is just volume that we are generating, and it helps the entire ecosystem.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Okay.
Awesome. So one of the main issues on PancakeSwap is that when people are buying, they're having to kind of limit it down to like $25 or $50 at a time because of those sandwich bots. So how will that work on DexSwap? Will they be able to purchase larger amounts?
Yeah, well, ultimately, it boils down to two things. It boils down to the total liquidity and the predatory bots. So the first part of the answer is, yeah, I mean, as long as there's liquidity there, they can buy as much as they want. And the whole deal with V3 and V4 concentrated liquidity is that you are able to buy a lot more with very low slippage. So provided that the liquidity is there. And again, we're moving all liquidity over from the protocol standpoint. I mean, and adding even more. So there should be, I mean, even right now, there's about $60,000 of liquidity on eShare specifically. On EMP, it's over $1 million. So again, I mean, all that being on DexSwap with the bot protection, I mean, you should be able to buy as much as you would want, without barely any slippage. But yeah, I don't know if you want to add to that, Jake.
Yeah, I think you covered it. I mean, that's another just advantage with V3 liquidity as opposed to V2. It's called concentrated for a reason. Basically, you can focus the funds to a specific price range, which allows more efficiency in trading. So, like on a V2 pool, you know, you might have $100,000, but have more slippage on a concentrated pool that has $50,000 in liquidity because it is concentrated on that range. Excuse me, I'm having a coughing attack, but that's the idea. Yeah.
For sure.
Awesome. Okay. So, how will this benefit Fusion? Will there be additional rewards? What about after regaining peg?
Yeah, so we'll come up with that actual white paper, and ultimately we're going to implement the same thing that's on DexFi in terms of the DAO that actually shows, what revenue is going where. But the long story short is, it is a multi-step process. We've said all along, the number one priority right now is recovering peg. So any, funds that we receive through any of these platforms, number one, it goes to pay for development first so that we never ever have to sell our native tokens and dump on our community's heads, and then literally everything else goes into supporting peg to give out to peg, and then we're able to ramp up to where all the revenue splits go into Fusion, and that is when we see the APR really start kicking in Fusion. But it's definitely a multi-step process. And remember, there's a lot of mouths to feed, but that same concept, we do it a different way, but GDEX holders experience that same flow through GDEX. Again, it's Fusion is a little more game theory, a little more I don't want to say it's a little more fun, because Jake might kill me, but it's different than holding a token in your wallet hoping it goes up. But they both benefit from the real revenue that we're all generating. So yeah, again, I wouldn't be sleeping on EMP or GDEX or eShare, really anything in any of our ecosystems for sure.
100%. Awesome. How will this work for legacy contracts, and what is the time frame?
Yes, so we're gonna do a whole AMA on the legacy contracts. Again, we are sunsetting Detonator, Reactor, all the NFTs and nodes. You will get credit in Fusion for those, but again, it has to be one thing at a time. So right now, again, in terms of timelines, the soft launch for DexSwap was today. The migration for EMP ETH LP will start an EMP as well. If you have liquid EMP, you'll just be able to swap it 1-for-1 to EMP 2.0. All that will start on the 31st, and it will go for about a month. So again, anybody paying attention or not paying attention, you get a month to make it happen. If you miss the window, there are no guarantees, although we'll do our best to accommodate, just like we did with the original eShare migration, giving credit after that window, but that will be it. And then a week into that, we'll start the migration for legacy contracts. And again, it'll be super straightforward. You will just, you will have to initiate it. It won't be an airdrop. You have to go, you have to claim, and we'll do a full AMA on this by itself in the next few weeks. But yeah, it will be here. I mean, the first week of February is what we're shooting for. So, and originally, this is some alpha. Originally, we thought that you would have to have a microgrid, buy a microgrid. But the good news is that we'll be able to do it even if you don't have a microgrid. So that's really bullish for those that say, there's a barrier to entry. Literally everybody that was involved can now migrate, and the only barrier is if you want to sell, you will have to buy a split my position battery for 15 bucks. So if you have a position in Fusion or Detonator, any of those that's less than 15 total dollars, then it may not be worth it for you. But literally everybody else will be getting something out of that. And again, it's unheard of. We're doing it because we want to, not because we have to. And then we can literally get rid of all the drama and baggage of the original EMP tomb fork, and again, Jake, it's great that you're here, man. Really quick on this. Again, I don't want to go too long here, but you guys did this. You were a Tomb Fork as well, and you got rid of all the baggage. Went through and paid off about $1 million of debt. And now you guys are home free. I mean, again, we learn from each other. I think that it's a really good move for EMP in the long term. Would you agree?
Yeah, man. I think everyone's lives are going to be a lot easier once this migration happens. It's really great to have everything under one roof. They say like jack of all trades, master of none.
For
I
sure.
mean, it was a fun run, I mean, but the NFTs and kind of time to put away childish things and just make some money.
Yeah, bro, 100%. And again, we are making good that everything that we said we would do, and everybody will see when the migration happens and do get credit in Fusion, and then there's literally no more EMP left because it's all sacrificed into Fusion. That's when the APRs really will go up, and we'll say DexFi and EMP are literally the only two tomb forks that recovered peg or maintained peg, which is again unheard of. So there you go. All
Absolutely.
right.
Hell yeah. Okay. Let's see. When will the SparkSwap and CetoSwap migrations happen?
Yeah, Jake, I'll let you handle that one again. I know our plates are really full from a development standpoint. Theoretically, it's not that big of a lift, but we do need to kind of calculate credit for the 404s and sparkler positions. We need to have all the economics ready for the DexSwap token. So yeah, I don't know if you want to again clarify.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're not too far off. I mean, we're kind of again, this is another reason why we decided to launch the MVP with on BSC with the EMP native tokens. Because there isn't as much tied to it. We don't have you don't have some of that extra the Dex tokens and things like that. So like I said, this is going to be a nice litmus test. We'll get through this first migration, see how it goes. But in theory, adding, it's similar to we launch on the vaults on different chains, right? Contracts are all the same. We just have to deploy them on, the different chains. And again, we'll get a good feel of how the migration goes for EMP. Honestly, we'll be able to use the same migration UI for the most part, with some minor modifications. So all the hard stuff is getting built now. So we should be able to kind of start running through kind of a systematic process. We'll probably move from BSC to Arbitrum next because it's probably the easiest one out of all of them. Once we've kind of battle tested everything works, because DexFi owns 100% of the liquidity, so that won't take long at all. It'll just be popping up contracts and moving over, and then from there we can, like I said, we have to make sure we compensate everyone from from Sparkler and the Ceto 404s and come up with a kind of a game plan. Those will be a little bigger migrations with that's when it'll start getting exciting again because we'll have the reward tokens again and people will be able to start earning more
Yeah,
so than they are.
totally. Yeah, no doubt. That again, that is the like you said, when the incentive comes back to, not that there really isn't incentive now because you're earning from a smaller pool. But yeah, I think that, and again, we're not that far away. I mean, I think people, the narrative on Twitter seems to be the bull run is here and almost over. But I think that we're just getting started, man. Holy hell, we didn't even talk about at the beginning of the show. I mean, the president of the United States has a meme token. What? Oh, I never thought I'd utter those words. So I think we're just getting started. I think we confirmed a. I don't know if it's a strategic Bitcoin reserve, but it's definitely a strategic crypto reserve, which again is maybe even more bullish. So there's just so many catalysts. Not to get political by any means, but I think that we by the time DexSwap and everything is in place, GIA, DexFi AI, everything, we're going to be positioned right in the middle of, what could be an extended cycle moving out throughout 2025. So I think, timing wise, we're set up really well.
Yes, sir.
Awesome. Well, I think that we can move on to our Fusion stuff and then check the chats and the Discord for questions at the end.
All right, great. Jake, if you want to hang out, man, that would be good. If not, if you got to run, I understand. Again, today was a doozy, bro. So we'll just go through Fusion. LA and I can handle that part, and then we'll invite you back on, or you can just hang out. And then if there's any questions along the way, I guess that we could start there. I know, and we may get into this too, but we actually will be providing the Fusion battery LP on DexSwap as well. So if you're getting cashed out through any of the Fusion batteries, that will now be executed through DexSwap instead of PancakeSwap. So there's another just little bonus of why we're doing this. So all right, so LA, go ahead. Do you wanna start? We'll go line by line here.
Yeah, for sure. So we have some new features inside Fusion. So there's an all new My Fusion. The My Fusion page is your personalized dashboard offering unparalleled insights into your Fusion position, achievements, and strategies. AJ, do you want to pull up the Fusion Watch site?
Yes, I will. Perfect. Let me get going.
So here's what you can explore. First of all, your Fusion rank. So you can instantly view your rank, progress to the next level, and your microgrid's total value. You can view leaderboard winning badges. So show off your weekly sacrifice and gain badges earned on the leaderboards. Fusion progress graph, a detailed visual history of your Fusion journey. Dilution tracker, discover exactly how much EMP you need to sacrifice daily to maintain your position. This is more than stats. It's a reflection of your efforts inside Fusion, and it's designed to help you strategize and maximize your potential. Again, you can visit this at fusion-watch.com. And let's just dive in for a quick second about why that dilution tracker is important. So,
Yes, I love it, LA. Holy cow. Again, I get so excited about this. And shout out to Grover and John. Again, it's just crazy, the full circle. Grover was and still is super involved in DexFi. It's been just an amazing relationship with everybody involved. But that being said, these dilution trackers, maybe other than the peg health meter, and what we are in terms of peg recovery, this is probably the second most important metric in all of Fusion Watch. So when you connect your wallet, you will get this dashboard. Again, some really amazing stats as it is, but the dilution per day, this is how much new EMP is going into Fusion to where you would need to sacrifice in order to not lose your ownership percentage. So let me back up and kind of explain that a little bit more detailed. So every day, say you own 0.1% ownership in Fusion. Well, if somebody sacrifices, 100,000 EMP, they're getting a bigger slice of the pizza, to use LA's analogy. They're getting a much larger piece of the pie. Therefore, your ownership actually goes down and may drop below 0.1%. And we call that dilution. So as long as you're keeping up with this number by sacrificing, 38 EMP a day, or on a weekly 322 EMP a week, you in theory maintain your current ownership. And why this is so bullish is, yes, you will have to compete with dilution over the next few months or weeks, who knows, until we reach peg. But once all of the EMP in existence is in Fusion, you are no longer getting diluted ever. In fact, your ownership will actually go up, because as we buy and burn microgrids from the marketplace, that gets rid of sacrifice points forever. And because EMP is now a capped supply token, there is never any more inflation. There's never any more EMP to ever be minted or acquired. Once it's all inside of Fusion, then that's it. And so that's why it's so important to mentally get yourself to whatever ownership percentage you want, and then do whatever you can to keep yourself at that level until all the EMP is gone, and then you're home free. I mean, I can't wait to the day that we see the ownership percentage just keep gradually going up and up and up without ever having to do anything, without ever having to compound. You just automatically earn more ownership because, again, as a protocol, we're going in and buying microgrids and burning them just like you would with like a stock buyback in the real world. So does that help explain LA? I think it's so bullish.
For sure.
Cool.
Yes. And so on your My Fusion page, the diluted per day metric stands out as an essential tool for understanding your position in Fusion. This metric tells you how much EMP per day you'll need to sacrifice to maintain your percentage of ownership. It's calculated using the average EMP sacrificed across the entire protocol over the past week. It's important because you want to protect your position. Fusion ownership is dynamic as others sacrifice EMP. Maintaining your share requires active contributions. Falling behind this number could lead to a reduction in your percentage of ownership. How do you use it? Make this metric part of your daily strategy. By staying above the dilution threshold, you can safeguard your share in Fusion while maximizing long-term rewards.
I love it. Perfect. And yeah, Grover can definitely give more updates on this in the socials. He and John came up with this when he showed me. I said, "Oh my God, that's one of the most incredible statistics we could have included for sure." So
yes. And then there's one more thing Grover asked me to go over, and it's an announcement he made a little while ago that as the migration of EMP and eShare to DexSwap will need to update the Fusion Watch code to ensure all data remains accurate and up to date during and after this transition. To facilitate this, we'll be pausing the weekly competition for the next week and calling the monthly competition on the 29th of January instead of the 31st. This temporary adjustment is essential to provide seamless tracking and maintain the high standards Fusion Watch is known for. The Fusion Watch team is already hard at work on these changes, ensuring everything is back in action as quickly as possible. They appreciate your patience and understanding during the transition period.
perfect. Yeah, and I just wanted to expand on that a little bit. We may even actually disable deposits within Fusion itself for the first few days of the migration. Again, we may not need to do that, but everything we do, we're overly cautious on any potential issues or exploits. So just be prepared for that. Again, if you want to get sacrificed now, and again, who knows, with the migration, we could see some volatility in EMP as well. Make sure you do all that before we start. We're planning that on the 31st, and then once that happens, then everything will transact in the new EMP token. So when you sacrifice, it'll be the new EMP 2.0. And again, it's not a big deal. It sounds like it's complicated, but it really isn't. We've done this already, with eShare, and now we're doing it with EMP, and this will be it. This is the last thing we'll ever have to do. And then from here on out, in terms of the Fusion ecosystem, we just work on more and more utility and batteries and different amazing features within Fusion itself. So this is so great. We're shedding all the dead weight. We're becoming more streamlined, more efficient, and all of you that have been building positions, and paying attention, are gonna absolutely kill it. So
yes,
cool.
Love it. Awesome. So a little bit of stats. If you look in the PEG trend box, as of this morning, we're currently looking at the end of March to reach PEG, as all three indicators are showing mid to late March. But this isn't bad, but if we all work together, we can significantly accelerate this timeline and could see us reaching PEG in late Feb, early March. It's up to us and the way we're all choosing to work together as a community to make this happen. That being said, if we slow down our trajectory, it could be much later than the end of March. So what I want to say is, if every person thinks it's up to the next person to help move it along, then we'll be slow in reaching our goals. But if we all take accountability and continue working together as a community, we're rowing so much faster in the direction we want to go, and we'll get there so much quicker. And so while the end of March is pretty great, we can make it earlier if we all are determined to work together.
I love it. Absolutely. And like we've said many, many times, what determines PEG is the buying and sacrificing of EMP. So, the dilution metric that we just talked about, I mean, that is super manageable. Like 30 EMP a day. I mean, all of us can do that. And that, again, would dramatically increase or decrease, rather, the time it takes to get to PEG. So, and all this is math. Again, we talk about in a lot of AMAs. This isn't just LA and I coming on and saying, we hope that this happens. I mean, you can literally see on chain all of the EMP going into Fusion, never to be seen again. The reduction of supply, the buying pressure, the SAC or pay price going up, up, up. All of that. So again, this is, and all the data on Fusion Watch is pulled right from the on-chain data for sure.
Yes. And just a few stats. We've had 242,000 EMP sacked in the last week, 1.09 million in the last month, and 3.87 million in the last 3 months. So we've been working really powerfully as a community, and we need to continue to just amp it up.
I love it. Absolutely. And that supply shock is kicking in more and more every day for sure. So, and there really isn't a lot of EMP left. Again, I can go back here. I know we had a question about this. We may get into a little bit later. But one part you can see down here is the EMP and eShare circulation and what that means. So right here again, the total EMP 59.4 million. Literally half of that is inside of Fusion, and only 7.27% is in the LP. Meaning, if people were to go and buy all the EMP they can on the exchange right now, there's only about 4 million EMP left. So obviously that doesn't account for some wallets. There will be some dumping, along the way. We're prepared for that. But again, those people that sell, they'll never be able to buy EMP that cheap again and get exposure to Fusion. So it is potentially a one-time problem. And we've already seen that happen. I mean, we've seen people selling even at these levels, and EMP just keeps going up. So the formula and the math is unfootable for sure. And the supply of eShare is even less. So again, 66,000 total eShare. We burned about 10% of that. So really only 60,000. And then there's only 1.5 total eShare in the LP, which again is like almost less than 3%. This will go up again once we purposely kept the liquidity a little low on eShare while we were dealing with those sandwich bots. But once we get over to DexSwap, the liquidity will go up. But you want more liquidity on eShare because that is the transactional token of the ecosystem. And the more that we're transacting, the more we're able to burn eShare along the way too. Because remember, a portion of the fees or portion of the transactions fees, we burn that in terms of eShare. So again, the system is so, it's like a well-oiled machine now. We just gotta keep it going. So
Love it. Awesome. One last final metric. We're at a 4.64 peg bonus, and as you know, it's ticking down steadily. So if you're still looking to take advantage of the peg bonuses while they're high, pay attention to that number, because we're soon going to reach a day where we're no longer in the fours.
yeah, 100%. And people, I did see on the last AMA, people were saying, well, if there's less and less of a bonus, does that mean that PEG is going to slow down? And I would beg to differ. I would say the opposite. Again, all of this recovery has been organic, and we have coffers to get us over the hump to defend PEG. And FOMO really kicks in when people realize they're getting a 2 multiplier instead of potentially a 0. So again, I think that is something that we have been prepared for, and if anything, it'll accelerate the quicker that we get back to PEG. Because again, remember, we said this too, we have a whole follow-up marketing campaign around PEG recovery, that again, other than Dex Finance, which never lost PEG, period, we're the only tomb fork to fully recover PEG, and we have a whole marketing campaign around that. So again, I don't think that would be an issue at all.
Amazing. Okay, would you like to cover a couple of the questions in the live chat while I pull up the Discord ones?
Yep, no problem. Let me see. Was that it too, as far as notes and
Yep.
what we need to cover? Amazing. Okay, hang on. Let me come back over here. All right, bear with me. And we have a whopping 225 viewers. Holy cow, shout out to all of you. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And thank you all for being here. It's a record number. When I said it was potentially the biggest AMA in protocol history, here we are, and excited to have you all here. So, all right, let me see. Go all the way up. And if we didn't get to your question, please feel free to type as well. Here's one. Do you think we're gonna have the boardroom print again? So again, Dubai, this is somebody that has been out of the loop for a while. Our boardroom doesn't print anymore, period. So we have transitioned into what we call EMP Fusion. It is a staking protocol that gives part of the revenue from all that we do as a rev share. And then that EMP is now deflationary. So there is no more inflation whatsoever on EMP or eShare. And we are, like I said, a well-oiled machine. So we have a full tutorial on what Fusion is. LA did an amazing job with a series. We can link you to that in a minute here. So, all right, let me go see what the next one is.
Boo! Make the boardroom print.
Yeah, Jake. Oh man, I hear you. We
Skills,
those
man.
were the days, bro.
I thought you were gonna turn it back on, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Bro.
I think we can both agree that non-inflation is the way to go, man. So yeah.
Turn the printer on, dude.
Yeah, I love it. All right, let's see. All right, here we go. Grover says, sunsetting meaning no longer active and soon to be all investments. Yeah. So somebody asked, what do we mean by sunsetting? That is a nice way of saying we're getting rid of the legacy contracts. So again, if you were in Detonator Reactor or any of the NFTs, we'll have a formula. We're working on that now. Jake can confirm. The devs have been working on all the numbers. We'll publish the exact formula, but it will be something along the lines of what you deposited, what you were able to withdraw as profit, maybe a little bit of a bonus for those that compounded, and we're helping the protocol, and then divided by a certain number that again is based on peg bonus. So those that are going in are not going to be getting the full peg bonus out of it as well. But regardless, it'll be super fair. And those that again have been trying to support the protocol should get a nice little chunk out of it. And the EMP that is we're using to credit this is EMP from the treasury that is accounted for. So we're not minting new EMP to cover this. Again, it just want to be perfectly clear on all that. So okay. All right. What else do we have? LA. Do you have any LA while I keep looking?
Yep, I do. Actually, let's just jump on that. I answered this person in the chats, but because we tend to cover this topic every week, and we have covered it for the last several weeks, I'll ask this because I want to remind everyone of how Detonator actually works, because it seems like the general population has completely forgotten how Detonator works. But
sure.
the question was, I've been an investor since the early days. I invested in Detonator. Where is my money? So first of all, Detonator has always been a game, and the way that it works is if more people compound than claim, then there's longevity in the contract. Obviously, we all know at this point that in the recent year, 2 years, more people have claimed than compounded. And so when you ask, where's my money? It has gone into the claims of the individual users of Detonator. 0 of that went to the team, 0 of that went to the treasury or the protocol. It's kept within the contract, and when users claim, it pays them out their daily burst. So AJ, can you expand on that and just reiterate what's happening with those contracts?
Yeah, I think you said it beautifully, LA. I mean, I couldn't have said it better myself. It is an ROI style smart contract. Again, nobody is pressing buttons behind the scenes. If anything, you are the one depositing and pressing the buttons. It is a financial game. We said it on literally every AMA. If you go back and listen, every time we brought up Detonator, it was, this is not an annuity. It's not a certificate of deposit. It is an ROI style game. And, honestly, it was one of the major reasons that EMP was so successful because it helped us really deepen our liquidity and allowed us to print in the boardroom, week after week after week. That being said, we always said two other things. We said make sure that you have your major positions in the farms. You never go all in on Detonator because again, as long as you have EMP ETH LP in the farm, you're earning eShare. That was the play. And again, it wasn't us trying to say one thing and do another. That is how you play the game. And number two, we said it's better to do a 5-2 strategy where you compound 5 days and you withdraw 2 days. And if you did that, you would be in profit. Again, we're going to pull all the records, and the on-chain data doesn't lie. So we'll know, what you put in and what you pulled out. And I would bet to say 90% of people that did that strategy profited. So the people that really lost the worst, is people that got in late to Detonator or people that compounded, all 7 days. And again, when we do the credit, those that have compounded 7 days, obviously you won't have as much withdrawn from the platform, so you will be getting a bigger credit into Fusion. So, I mean, there's no smoke and mirrors here. There's nothing. It didn't go into our wallet. It's all decentralized. And LA said it perfectly. The money went to everybody else that was in the protocol, and it's the same LP for Detonator. Detonator Defender NFTs, buying and selling EMP on the open market. That's the whole deal. So yeah, I don't know if that clarifies LA, but
Yeah, and honestly, if I'm being truthful, like the protocol is at a negative balance because of the users doing that, because we spent a lot of time and money marketing the protocol and Detonator and those contracts specifically to continue to build the hype and build the game. And it has been the longest standing ROI contract that exists within DeFi. So we've obviously done a great job of having it last. Like years and years longer than any other ROI contract that I've personally ever seen. Most of them have lasted under 1 year. The only exception, I don't know how long specifically Drip lasted. AJ, you can comment on that, but I'm pretty sure Detonator's much longer.
Yeah, totally. As far as I know, it is the most long-lasting ROI contract ever created. And again, I mean, we were upfront about all that, even to the point, again, like I have nothing to hide. You guys can go look at all the old 3 years of AMAs. The wallet that we showed on there, that wallet compounded in Detonator for the whole time, and that all that did was feed more rewards into Detonator to make it last longer. I mean, I wasn't claiming that every day and splitting the LP again. I mean, I think people just get frustrated that they maybe made a mistake and over invested in the Detonator when we said literally every day that it was a game. And so again, we're not obligated, especially even now. I mean, again, Trump just passed that everything that we've always said, code is speech. In other words, it's not property, it's not anything that is built on the blockchain as a smart contract, has to have a user that interacts with it. So, I didn't write the code, LA didn't write the code, so it's there. It's decentralized, it's on chain, and everybody wants to be a victim, I guess, but we don't we didn't gain from that whatsoever. So again, I hate to get a little bit on my high horse with all the bullish things that we have with this AMA, but it is something that we get literally every day. And so in the next week, or 2 weeks, that will be behind us. If you hate EMP and think we suck, then all you have to do is buy the split my position battery for $15, and you can sell your entire Detonator position that was migrated over. I would be happy to buy it from you. So there you go.
Yeah. And I just mainly wanted to bring this up because I want to remind everyone of how Detonator actually works as a game, and that the money went to the individual users. We had nothing to do with that. We were not clicking the claim button on each of your behalfs. And so if anything, back in the day when we had no marketing budget, AJ would spend his own money and we would promote the protocol and do everything in our power in such a scrappy way to make sure that EMP lasted, because we care about our community and we do everything we can to keep everyone safe and keep the protocol going. And so this is another just prime example of our care for all of you, in that we are doing this partial crediting, even though we don't have to, because clearly the money went to the individual users. And in the game, some people clearly did win quite a lot.
Yep, 100%.
Yeah. Anyways, next question. There's a few more here. What percentage APR can we expect once we reach PEG, let's say on 100K SAC points? And will it be possible to reinvest it back into Fusion to further increase our share of the grid? Keeping in mind, in this user's question, we're back at PEG.
Yeah, no doubt. So I like this question. I'm going to actually defer to one of our incredible community members, and that is Crypto Kings. He has done a video literally every single day about EMP Fusion, and a lot of his discussion is on APR. So if you really want to get an idea, I would say go follow him. We'll drop his link in here. But APR is relative because APR is determined based on what you've actually invested into Fusion itself. So, in other words, right now, if you invest, say again, or sacrifice 10,000 bucks, that turns into about 40,000 in terms of peg bonus and Fusion microgrid value. So if you do the APR, even at like a 10% APR, which sounds, really low in terms of DeFi degenerate APR, but pretty incredible in terms of, traditional finance at 3 or 4% APR, that could literally be, hundreds, if not thousands of dollars a day, because you're getting such a massive bonus on the position. Again, you really only contributed 10,000, but you're getting credit at 40, and obviously that will go down as time goes on. But that allows us to increase the APR over time and combat the dilution of the APR. And on top of all that, what I mentioned earlier, we will actively be buying microgrids as well. And even if the APR stays the same, again, if each say 10 people in Fusion get $1 a day, if we have 9 people in Fusion and we're still paying $10 total, then each person gets a little bit more and a little bit more. And now if there's only 5 people in Fusion, we're still paying $10 a day. Now you're getting $2 a day, which is literally double the APR. So we have all these metrics and mechanisms that will help the APR grow over time. But to just say, getting into Fusion is going to give you a 80% APR, like there's no way for us to tell that, or know that. So again, and if you're not happy with the APR, then you can always list the microgrid for sale on the marketplace. So nobody is locked in. Again, that's another really misconception with Fusion. It's not a sunk cost. Again, you do have to buy a split my position battery, but that's only 15 energy or $15 to do so. And again, all the fees go right back into the protocol. So just keep all that in mind and give it a shot. But I think the other factor is the more revenue we generate, then the higher the APR. I mean, when DexSwap is doing 10,000, 100,000, who knows, a day in fees. I know that GDEX and Fusion rewards and eShare will be through the freaking roof. So not financial advice for sure. So.
Alrighty. Let's see
Oh,
what.
and there's one more comment about compounding. Yeah, once all the EMP is gone, the BBE or compounding, that will go away because there is no more EMP. So the only way to compound would be to take your rewards in Fusion and buy microgrids off the market. So, and if there are no microgrids for sale, then you cannot get a bigger position. So that's another reason why, you want to make sure you get your ownership now so that you're not left out. And that's not me. That's not me trying to create FOMO, even though I just got a little FOMO myself. That's
Yeah.
the reality. I
It
mean,
very well will be a reality that everyone wishes they had have listened to months prior.
totally.
Okay, so I'm excited for this question because you're about to light this giant light bulb over this user's head, and I'm excited for the light bulb moment.
All right, let's go.
What is the point of being pegged to ETH once no more EMP is left? The value of a microgrid has no relevance to the price of ETH. The only price of a microgrid is what someone is willing to pay for it. This will be based on the revenue produced.
Yeah, so again, the whole idea is that we are able to set a fair market value through PEG. Now, this user is somewhat right when we actually have no more EMP left, but that is the damage is already done, so to speak, because there has already been a fair market value determined of a microgrid. And again, yes, when there is no more EMP left, PEG is not as relevant, but that means everybody is already in Fusion. So then it does become just what somebody's willing to sell a microgrid for, and it goes the other way, which I think is the light bulb moment. LA would want me to say, we could see a peg decoupling in the other way, going up, meaning microgrids may be going above market value, just because everybody wants to get into Fusion and there is nobody selling microgrids. So, the way that PEG works as of now is relevant because, it determines us getting back to parity and then establishing a floor of what microgrids should be worth. Again, the 4,000 to 1 ratio, and it gives you exposure to Ethereum as well. So again, say there is still some EMP left and we are liquidity bonded with Ethereum, it will automatically make the value of your microgrid and the value of EMP itself go up. I mean, if I say if, but when Ethereum gets to $8,000 a token rather than, what it is now, that's a $2 EMP, and you will never ever be able to get as big a position as you can right now. So, PEG is important. Again, if you get granular to the point of like, does it matter? Yes, it matters, but it becomes less relevant the more and more EMP that goes into Fusion. But regardless, it sets the fair market value of microgrids.
Yeah, and as it stands right now, as ETH goes up and as we get closer to PEG, you can clearly see that our microgrid values are increasing. And that's important because when we are back to PEG and there's very little or no EMP left to sacrifice into Fusion, and we have all of these amazing income streams that you and Jake went over today in the chats, and not to mention HVM when it's complete and the game is live too. We will have competitive APRs and people will want to get in. We will be in the position where we're able to do a massive marketing push. And in that case, even in the worst case scenario that someone was willing to pay 50% of what a microgrid was worth, we're still laughing all the way to the bank if you are someone who's wanting to sell. And like AJ said, in the best case scenario, people could be selling for far more because they're making great income inside Fusion and don't want to sell. And there's no more EMP on the open market. So none of this is guaranteed, but this is just a glimpse into what could happen in the future.
I love it. Perfect.
Awesome. Okay, 2 more questions. We really need to wrap up because our next AMA starts in 2 minutes.
Yeah, this is the second week in a row. Too bullish, too much alpha. Oh man. All right, go ahead, Ellie.
Maybe even Grover could answer this in the chats after, but it said back in November, Grover speculated some potential daily volume numbers for DexSwap to be in the 10 million plus range within the first couple months. Do you feel confident that his estimates will be accurate?
I mean, yeah, I don't see why not. I don't think, again, that's something that we can determine right now. But with Vault integration, with multiple chains, I mean, we could easily see that. In the heyday of SparkSwap, we were doing $1 million a day in volume just on SparkSwap alone, and that was when, again, on a chain that isn't as adopted as some of the other ones we're going to. So yeah, I mean, in the long run. I think $10 million a day in volume is very, very conservative. In the next few months, maybe, maybe not. But yeah, I think overall, that is the plan, 100%. I mean, ultimately, we want hundreds of millions of dollars of volume.
Awesome. So that's a good place to wrap it up. If you have any further questions, make sure to leave them in the Discord AMA questions tab. We also have a new AMA questions tab inside the HVM Discord if you have any questions for that AMA. But we will see you all in a few minutes over on the HVM AMA. Thank you guys so much for coming. And remember, if you haven't liked this stream yet, make sure to do so. And please subscribe to the EMP channel because we do this every Thursday night at 6:45 Eastern.
I love it. Let's go. We have 250 viewers on the live tonight. So a record. And yeah, Jake, thank you for being here, man. Any final words you want to add as well? Again, bro, I know we've said this many times. We have the dream team now assembled between, the three of us, all the devs, everything that's happening. I mean, again, I know it sounds very cliche, but I think we are set up for the most epic run and of our ecosystem we've ever seen, man. So yeah, anything you want to end with? Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I will say this actually. There's more alpha to come. So if you're ever going to be paying attention, I would stay tuned for the next couple days. There's going to be some other surprises coming out very soon.
I love it, man. Yeah, I know. Again, I don't want to spill the beans. Maybe pun intended. I don't know. But yeah, it definitely. If you're gonna pay attention to DexFi and EMP, over the next few weeks, now is the time to do it for sure. So keep an eye out for our on our Twitter. Again, that's a really important way of keeping in touch. I'm sorry, X. I got to break that habit, but make sure you're looking at all of our official socials for some alpha coming. And yeah, just don't fall for any scams. The Dex token will not be live yet. Don't connect to any random sites, but get ready for what's coming. I mean, we're in full full motion right now, so for sure. All right, awesome. Is that it, Jake?
That's all I got.
All right, man. We'll end it there. Thank you all for being here. Good night, good day. We will see you next Thursday at 6:45 p.m. Eastern. Good night, everyone.
Take care.